Let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with it before you answer. When was the last time you actually checked every single subscription charging your bank account right now? Not last month. Not when you signed up. Right now. Today. You can't remember, can you, Corazon? That's not an accident. That's the whole point. While you were sleeping, while you were exhausted from that job that doesn't pay you enough, while you were too tired to open a spreadsheet and do basic arithmetic, they were collecting. Quietly. Automatically. Every single month. Like a landlord who never shows up to fix anything, but always shows up on the first of the month with their hand out. Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Adobe, Duolingo, the meditation app you downloaded during that one anxious Tuesday in 2021 and never opened again, the gym you joined in January, the news outlet you unlocked for one article, the cloud storage you bumped up because your phone was full of photos you never look at, the meal kit subscription you paused but never canceled, the software trial that became a bill, the premium version of the free thing. You are not a customer. You are a tenant. And baby, they raised the rent on you while you were not looking. I have been watching this happen to hardworking people for years. Smart people. People who budget. People who meal prep. People who know the difference between a Roth and a traditional IRA. Getting bled out $20 at a time, every single month, for the rest of their working lives. And today, Tia Pearl has the receipts. If you came here for someone to tell you it's fine, that you deserve your little treats, that self-care is never a waste.
Hold on. Listen carefully.
Honey, the door is right there. Nobody is stopping you. Go find yourself a guru with good lighting and a rented Lamborghini, and let him tell you your subscriptions are an investment in yourself. But if you want the truth, the kind that actually changes your bank statement, you stay right here. Because I am about to show you exactly how much of your life you have already handed over and exactly how to take it back. Let me explain something about how this system was built, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There is a concept in the software industry called MRR, monthly recurring revenue. It is the single most celebrated metric in the entire technology and entertainment business. Not total sales, not customer satisfaction. Monthly, recurring, revenue, the money that comes in automatically, without them having to do a single thing to earn it again. Your forgetfulness is not a bug in their system, querido. It is the product. The entire subscription economy, and it is a $1 trillion economy, let that number land, is engineered around one behavioral truth. Humans are terrible at tracking small, consistent losses. Our brains register big sudden expenses as threats. We feel a $300 car repair. We feel a $500 emergency. Those hurt. Those feel real. But $12, $15, $8.99, our brains round that down to nothing. It feels like nothing. It is designed to feel like nothing. They even named the phenomenon. The industry calls it subscription fatigue blindness. They have conferences about it. They have entire departments of behavioral psychologists whose job is to make sure that the moment you sign up, the mental ownership of that decision transfers to the background, to the automatic, the invisible, the forgotten. They do not want you engaged. An engaged customer is a customer who might cancel. They want you passive. They want you subscribed, billing, and completely unaware that the transaction is still happening. And the way they keep you passive is through something called friction asymmetry. Do you know how long it takes to sign up for most subscriptions? 14 seconds. One click, one confirm, sometimes not even a password. 14 seconds. Do you know how long it takes to cancel some of those same subscriptions? I want you to think about the last time you tried to cancel something. The "Are you sure" screens. The "What if we paused instead" offers. the customer retention chat that opens automatically, the cancellation button that is somehow always on the last page of a settings menu that requires 3 submenus to reach, the phone number you have to call that is only available Tuesday through Thursday between 10 and 4. That asymmetry is not a design flaw. It is a design feature. 14 seconds to get in, 45 minutes to get out, and most people give up somewhere in the middle. That surrender, that moment where you say, you know what? Forget it. It's only $12. That is worth billions of dollars a year to these companies. They built a toll road in the middle of your budget and charged you for the privilege of not noticing it. Now, let us talk about the receipts, because this is where I need you to put your phone down and pay full attention to me. The average American household, and I am using American numbers here, but this math translates to every currency on this earth, spends $219 per month on subscription services. That is the average. That is not the person with a problem. That is the median household, the normal family, the people who think they are doing fine. $219 per month. Now I am not going to just tell you that is $2,628 per year, because that number sounds big, but it still doesn't hit the way it should. So let me translate it into something more honest. Let me translate it into time. Let's say you earn $20 an hour. That is a reasonable, common wage. Maybe a little above minimum. Maybe what you make at your job right now. $219 a month in subscriptions means you are working 10 hours and 55 minutes every single month, just to pay for services you mostly don't use. Not 10 hours of your worst hours. 10 hours of your life. 10 hours you woke up, got dressed, commuted, smiled at people you did not want to smile at, performed competence and pleasantness for a paycheck, and then handed the entirety of those 10 hours directly to Netflix, Spotify, Amazon, Adobe, and a meditation app you have never opened. That is 131 hours per year. 131 hours. Miudo. That is 5.5 full days of your life. 24 hours a day. Gone. Not spent, not invested. Handed over, automatically, without review, without resistance. And that is the average. If you have a household with 2 streaming services, a music service, a fitness app, cloud storage on 2 devices, a password manager, a VPN, 1 software suite, and a news subscription, which is not unusual, that is practically a starter pack in 2025. You are likely north of $350 a month. At $20 an hour, that is 17.5 hours of your life. Every month. Gone. Now let me push this further, because Tia Pearl did not come here to be gentle. Let us say you have been subscribing at this rate since you were 25 years old. These services became dominant around 2015, so this is not even an extreme assumption. That is 10 years. 10 years of 131 hours per year. 1,310 hours of your life. That is 54 days. 54 24-hour days of your one precious life, exchanged for content you forgot you had access to, software you use once a quarter, and a gym that has seen your face exactly twice. And here is the part that should make you set something down and breathe. That money, if you had invested it instead, just the average $219 a month, invested consistently in a basic index fund at a 7% average annual return, over 10 years would be worth approximately $36,000. $36,000. Not because you did anything clever. Not because you picked stocks or found a guru or worked a side hustle at midnight. Just because you stopped paying for things you do not use, and you put the money somewhere that worked while you slept. They did not just take your money, love. They took the money that money was supposed to make. They took the time you spent earning it, and they made sure you were too busy and too tired to notice any of it happening. Now let me show you the knife they used to do it, because this is the part that makes me furious. They sold you this as freedom. Do you remember the pitch? No contracts. Cancel anytime. That was the slogan that made subscriptions feel safe. No contracts meant no commitment. Cancel anytime meant you were in control. You were not locked in. You were free. They took the concept of ownership, which used to mean you paid once and the thing was yours, forever, on your shelf, in your hand, on your device. And they replaced it with access. And then they marketed access as superior to ownership, more flexible, more modern, more you. You used to buy a music album. It was yours. You could play it in 20 years with no internet connection and no monthly fee. You used to buy software. It lived on your computer. You used to buy a movie. It sat on your shelf. Now you rent all of it. Every month. Forever. And if you stop paying, it all disappears. The music, the movies, the software, the photos stored in their cloud. All of it held hostage behind a paywall that resets on the first of every month. They called it the subscription economy, and they put it in Forbes as an innovation story. What they built is a system where you never own anything, where your access to the tools and entertainment of modern life is permanently conditional on your continued payment, where the moment you fall on hard times, the moment you most need relief, your digital life begins to collapse, subscription by subscription, like lights going out in a house you thought was yours, but was never yours at all. They told you convenience was the point. But convenience for whom, querido? You click once and you own nothing. They click once and they own your billing cycle forever. That is not freedom. That is the most elegant debt structure ever invented. And they got you to sign up for it voluntarily and feel good about it. All right, enough diagnosis. Let us talk about what you are actually going to do. Because Tia Pearl does not come in here just to make you feel bad. I come in here to make you dangerous. Step 1, the audit. And I mean a real one. Not the 2-minute scroll you just did in your head while I was talking. I mean you open your bank statement, the actual PDF, 3 months back, and you highlight every recurring charge, every single one. Not the ones you remember, all of them. You will find things that surprise you. People find subscriptions they canceled that kept charging, trials they forgot, services attached to accounts they abandoned, apps charging a family plan rate for a family that no longer shares the account.
Step 3.
This audit is not optional. It is the foundation. You cannot fight what you cannot see. And right now, most of it is invisible by design. Do the audit this week, not someday. This week. Step 2, the rule of use. For every subscription you find, you ask one question.
Audiobooks.
Did I use this in the last 30 days? Not did I intend to use it. Not do I plan to use it. Did I actually open it, play it, access it, benefit from it in the last calendar month? If the answer is no, it goes. No grace period.
This is about
No,
stopping a wound.
but I might use it next month. It goes. You can always resubscribe if genuine need arises, and the 14-second sign-up process will still be there. Cancel first. Reevaluate from a place of intentionality, not inertia. Step 3, the consolidation and replacement protocol. For the subscriptions that survive the audit, the ones you genuinely use, you find every free or one-time payment alternative that exists. Your library card, right now, in most cities, gives you free access to ebooks, audiobooks, music, films, and digital magazines. Spotify has a free tier. YouTube has more content than you will watch in 3 lifetimes. Many software subscriptions have one-time purchase alternatives or open-source equivalents that cost nothing. You are not going without. You are refusing to rent what you can own or access freely. The goal is not deprivation. The goal is to stop bleeding from a wound you forgot you had. And then, and this is the step that ties all three together, you automate the savings. Whatever you recover from this process, you set up an automatic transfer the same day your old subscriptions used to charge to a high-yield savings account or an investment account. You replace the automatic drain with an automatic build. You turn their system against itself. They trained you to ignore automatic transactions. Fine. Use that same muscle to ignore the one that is building your future instead of their revenue. Here is what I want you to understand before you close this video and go back to your day. Every dollar you refuse to hand over automatically is a vote. It is a small act of reclamation in a system that is designed from the ground up to keep your money moving away from you and toward them. They count on your exhaustion. They count on your busyness. They count on the fact that at the end of a long day, you do not have the energy to log in and cancel something that is only $12. Your fatigue is their business model. And choosing to spend 1 hour, just 1 hour this week, sitting with your bank statement and dismantling what they built without your full awareness. That is not a small thing. That is you deciding that your time, your labor, your hours on this earth are not available for automatic collection. You worked for that money, Coruscant. Hour by hour, day by day, you traded pieces of your life for it. You deserve to decide where it goes. Not a server somewhere that processes your payment while you sleep. Not a company whose entire retention strategy depends on you being too tired to say no. You. So here's what I want you to do. Right now. Not tomorrow. Do the audit. Find the number. Write it in the comments below. How much were you subscribed to that you did not know about? Because I guarantee you, every single person watching this video is going to find something. And when you see that number, I want you to feel it not as shame, but as fuel. They built this machine. You are going to dismantle it. If this conversation opened your eyes, subscribe to this channel. And yes, I recognize the irony. Tia Pearl sees you laughing. Because I will be back with more mathematics they do not want you doing. More receipts they do not want you reading. And more truth they absolutely cannot afford for you to know. Now go do your audit. I'll be here when you get back.